Welcome back to CP's Garage, where we're going from this nasty rear metal diff cover that's standard on just about every 10.5 and 10.25 differential to this nice Ford aluminum diff cover that's available on the 2008 through 2010 250-350 single rear wheels. You may ask why we want to go from that stamped steel one to this beautiful aluminum one. Well, first we got cooling fins, kind of like the Banks one, but a whole lot cheaper. Second off, I personally like the look of these a lot better. The best part about these things are they'll fit the 10.25 on the OBS trucks, and they'll fit the 10.5 on the Super Duties, even up into the 11 to present day Super Duties. If you guys are not heavy towing or doing anything outlandish but will still want some cooling, this is probably a good option to go with. Let's get into the install video of this. Alright, now that we're done underneath the truck, we're going to start by taking off all the bolts around the differential cover. On this particular axle, they are a 13. We're going to use our wonderful Icon sockets and Icon Flex at 3/8 ratchet. We'll break them all free, then take them off with the Milwaukee ratchet. Now we'll move in with our Milwaukee ratchet and our Icon sockets again. Unlike the newer Dana axles on the single rear wheel 350s, this does not drain in the bottom bolt on these 10.5s and 10.25s. So now we'll throw our oil pan underneath it. We'll start to work the rear diff cover off with a screwdriver and hammer. You could also use a putty knife, whatever you have available. So I'm going to start right about here. There's a spot that I used last time that worked out pretty well. So we'll start right here and work our way around. There we go. Ooh, didn't even have to work around. It just came right off. And that is the perks of not using baby wipes. These things come right off. Personally, I do not use baby wipes on differentials because they're really not needed, in my opinion. They've been around since God knows when, and people haven't been using baby wipes on them up until Mr. Power Short Tech Talk with A-Rod had. So next we'll get the scraper, scrape this up, brake clean it off, make her look nice. Then we'll talk about installing the new cover. Since I'm at home, I don't have access to air, so I use the scruffy pads, the 3M scruffy pads, because I don't have a whiz wheel. And I use these razor blades to get the majority of the bulk off of it. I also use the oil as kind of a lubricant for the razor blade. Same with the scruffy pad, I kind of use the oil as a lubricant. Then I'll go back and hit it with brake clean. Then we'll join the brake clean mafia like Aaron and Ray. We'll also try to get as much of this old oil out as possible. Sticking our about 5 trips to Michigan, 4 of them with a heavy load. One down. Next. Empty. This will also be a good time to inspect your differential. Make sure you don't have any pinion marks on your center section. Make sure there's no funky wear or anything going on in there. So now we'll get ready to install this new cover. You get a rag and get down in all these little spots, little indents on inside of the diff cover that you can feel. Inside the diff that you can feel. They're really grody and nasty. You got a nastiness. Look at the nastiness and buildup of gunk. Once you're done getting all the divots cleaned out, take a rag and some brake clean and clean that flange up from all the oil that's dripped on it from the process. And it'll be nice and clean and dry when you're ready to install the new cover. So now we'll go get the new cover ready. To install this new cover, you're going to need the cover, obviously. This is from a 2008 through 2010 F250, F350. You can get those things from either the Ford dealer, junkyard, or AutoZone even sells a Dorman one now. They'll also need our favorite silicone, TA31. You will need 12 of these longer bolts. Part number is right there. And if you're a limited slip guy, you're going to need some of this stuff. One bottle. And then you're also going to need 75-140 full synthetic. Remember, this will work on your 10 1/4 to 10 1/2 rear ends. If you're cheap like me and can't afford to go with a Banks one, or you don't need that much cooling, this would be a good option. So let's start gluing this thing up. Since mine was used, I had to clean flange, but no biggie there. I'm not cool and I don't have an electric caulk gun, so we'll have to do it the old school way. I cut the tip about like that. Then we'll run the bayonet. We'll run the caulk gun's bayonet in it. Make sure it's open. Load the caulk gun. We'll just follow this track and put a nice bead around it. It should take just about this whole tube. I do wish I had an electric caulk gun. This would make this so much nicer. But we'll work with what we got. And no, I'm not using butt wipes like everyone else thinks you need, on these anyways. Now that we got glue around it, we're under a time limit. I like to get these on within 5 to 10 minutes from applying the glue. Alright, we'll install the cover. It's the same size bit. It's the same size socket, 13mm. So let's get this bad boy installed. I'll start 2 bolts opposite of each other to hold it. Kind of push it in a little bit. The glue will hold the cover in place long enough to get some bolts started in it. Once you get them all started in there, you go crisscross applesauce and tighten these things up evenly. Then we'll wait about an hour to 2 hours before we put fluid in it to allow the RTV to seal, to allow the RTV to harden. And as you can see, that thing bolted right in. All holes lined up. All the holes lined up, and it'll be doing the same thing as the Banks one, just not as efficiently. But being my truck doesn't tow much and doesn't even drive very much, it's fine. Look at that nice splooge. And now we'll go around, torque these to factory spec, and we'll come back when it's time to fill this up. So we get the plug out. Pretty nasty stuff, but pretty normal. Now we'll take the speed sensor bolt out with a Milwaukee. Drop it out of the way. And we'll carefully take out the speed sensor. Just give it a couple of wiggles. And it comes right out. And now we'll add our fluid. We'll start with the nasty stuff. Friction modifier. We just took the bottle and named it in the hole. I mean, you could use a funnel if you wanted. So now, onto this stuff. So we'll stick the nose in there. So we'll stick the nose in there and just give the bags a squeeze. Then we'll just monitor this hole. We'll just monitor this hole for fluid. This works great when you're having to use bottles and not bags. Bags would be easy. With the bags, it'll be easier to get in there and get all the fluid in it. So we'll be back when we get at least 4 bags in it and see where we're at. Alright, so we're 4 bottles in and we have a pretty good stream coming out of there. So I guess we'll let it drip, we'll let it stop streaming, and we'll throw the plug in it, and that'll be it. Only thing we have left to do is go around and cut the little goop off and put the sensor back in. If you like this install and a little trick on filling up the differential, if you are using bottles, please give me a like, comment, and be sure to share this video. See you next time at CP Store.